Welcome everyone. Today we are in the 3D Anatomy Studio and I am going to deep dive into something you may not have been made aware of when you're dealing with problems with the inner ear. You're dealing with problems with the ringing, the clicking sounds, the muffling sounds. It's just not getting any easier. So I'm going to jump in and I'm going to start with a particular muscle, and this one is called the stylohyoid muscle. And in this sense, stylo comes from the styloid process, which is a long, sharp spike of the bone coming down from your skull near your ear. So if we look here, and this particular muscle is known as the elevator muscle, elevator and retractor muscle. And if you can see what it's doing, its job is to pull that jaw in and pull that jaw back out, and it's tasked with that. So if I can just move myself out of the way, if we look closely here, you can actually see the movement. And when this muscle is thrown off, which it can very well be for various reasons, due to injury, due to overuse, due to stress, due to poor posture. I'm going to say that a lot, those things that I just named, very often. As you can see, it's the elevator muscle, and see it's working in unison with our jaw here. As you can see, the bottom jaw area, the mandible, connecting our bottom teeth to our top teeth. It's constantly in motion. But the more particular thing, and the thing that bothers a lot of you the most, or if you don't know, is that it's right behind the ear. I don't have the ear brought up right now, but you'll see, if I could just get the figure to behave a little bit here. You can see when this gets thrown off here, it's going to cause some intense pain, discomfort, ear pressure. Our body's natural mechanism and way to handle a lot of imbalance is sometimes when it comes to the ear, pressure is being let in and out of the ear, which can build up. And so just having a muscle thrown out of whack can cause these kind of side effects. And so that's the stylohyoid muscle, known as the elevator muscle. It's like a thin suspender strap, basically keeping everything intact. It pulls on the hyoid bone. So the hyoid bone is a circular bone in our vertebrae, between the vertebrae and the back of the skull. And it pretty much sets the stage for the right tube. And so when this bone, or I should say this muscle, gets thrown out of place or just not functioning correctly, you're going to experience a lot of discomfort, and you're going to experience a lot of what people say is clicking sounds. So let's go on to the next one. And this one is called the digastric muscle. Now the digastric muscle, and in a sense, I've given it a name, it's like the jaw dropper. Its main job is to keep the jaw not only in place here, looking at it from the alignment of the chin here all the way to where, again, the back of the ear, and it's known as the jaw dropper. Digastric, di meaning two, and gastric, belly. There are like two bellies, and its job is to particularly support not only the weight like the stylohyoid, but to also drop that jaw. So anytime we're eating, biting, chewing, this muscle is in place. It needs to be in place. And so I'm trying to get you better angle so you can see the movement. There is a good angle. If I can move myself out of the way, perfect. You can see how this motion is. And so the back of the belly, or in this sense, the back of this muscle's belly, don't want to confuse with our gastric, our stomach, but the back belly is so close to the mastoid bone, which is behind the ear. You've heard of the mastoid process. If this muscle gets very tight, it can pull on nearby structures. And so like nerves and tissues, it can cause havoc, possibly contributing to ear discomfort. And this, I would say, the most pertinent part of this particular muscle is the ringing. So you've heard it here first, folks. If you're dealing with issues with tinnitus and ringing, something's going on, in my opinion, with this muscle particularly. All right, so let's go on to the next one, mylohyoid muscle. Now, I've read a little bit about the mylohyoid muscle. It's not too much of a muscle that would be the main culprit in a lot of the problems with ear-related issues, but definitely has a lot to do with like TMJ problems and like myelo. From what I read about it and studied through the years, it's a Greek word, mill or grinder. So it's basically, it's the location of the grinding teeth. And so this particular reason why I bring this one up is just a part of the jaw structure as well, the muscle structure. It's a muscle to keep in track of, or to keep aware of, because it definitely, if for those of you dealing with TMJ issues, this muscle can get out of whack for many reasons. The ones I've stated before that you probably don't want to always keep hearing: poor posture, injury, like just not being aware of the position of your jaw. A lot of you are doing the biting down, like bruxism, things of that nature. That's going to shoot some problems, some pain in the jaw area, which can then radiate up the jaw to the ear. So it's just a muscle to keep in touch of what it does. It's basically the wide sheet of the jaw, the chin area. So I haven't heard too many problems with this muscle when it comes to like ETD related, but it's definitely something to, you know, keep in touch with, and to understand, like if you're feeling any pain underneath the jaw right here, it's just a neighboring muscle to keep in your back pocket to know about. Let's move on to the geniohyoid muscle. Genio refers to the chin. So again, I'm going to show you the way it looks here, the structure of the chin, and the way this muscle works here. This is one of the deepest suprahyoid muscles. It runs straight to the back from the inside of your chin to the front of the hyoid bone. So if you look, so from the chin to the hyoid bone, you can see how it's in place. It pulls the hyoid bone straight forward, so it kind of has like this pulling mechanism. It helps to lengthen the floor of the mouth, which is helpful when you speak. It helps open up the airway. So this muscle is important, honestly. I mean, they all are, but this muscle, in terms of what we're discussing, when this gets out of whack as well, it can really kind of restrict that airflow, that airway. And believe it or not, it just kind of like keeps some of you are explaining like, oh, I feel tight around the neck muscles. Like, what is it? Is it an allergy? Is it something going on? I can't really see when I swallow. I feel like this tightness. Of course, we're not here to diagnose, but just want to keep in mind that sometimes when you feel tightness here, it's not always a reaction or an inflammatory problem. It could just literally be that the muscle's overly tight, been working too long, working long hours, not getting adequate sleep, diet's off, things of that nature. So definitely want to keep that one in mind. So the other one here, and I think I talked about most of these here. I think the only one I didn't talk about, but yeah, these muscles here are very important to keep intact. The suprahyoid muscles are like incorporate all the muscles, but it's very important to understand that when you're dealing with ETD and symptoms of ETD, that you understand that it can be a basis of many things. It's not just simply taking nasal spray or just, you know, like just massaging the ear. Sometimes it's a little deeper than that. You have to start with the anatomy. You have to start with how your body's positioned. And I can't stress enough how important good posture is, because see, all these muscles depend on having good posture in the neck. These muscles get thrown off. It can throw off all the functioning of these muscles, the suprahyoid muscles intact. And all of these run to the back of the ear. As you can see, all the ones we've talked about, they go all the way up to the back of the ear, giving those problems with the ear. So if you're dealing with clogging, air pressure buildup, ringing, you need to be in touch with what this could be. Some things you can do is you can lay down on your couch or your bed, and you can lean your neck off to the right or left side of the bed, and just kind of lean it there, get a good stretch, kind of elongate those muscles. And you want to keep them loose as possible. You want to do chin tucks, you want to do pull downs, and you want to start doing these things daily. Of course, eating a good diet, because a good diet's going to help with anti-inflammatory. It could be your berries. You want to eat good, spices, ginger, turmeric. You want to do these things daily. You don't want to just do these things when there's something wrong. So I hope this video brought a great visual to you, kind of more of a kind of opening up your mind to that, hey, this stuff that I'm dealing with isn't always just on the outer surface. It can actually be something that is inside the body that I just need to reach to. Again, you can do some massages underneath the jaw, kind of rub around the area. That's why I really stress on things like that, because it impacts you on a wider scale versus just the kind of taking a medicine and waiting it out when nothing's actually being done to the structure and the surface. So hope this video was very helpful for you. If it was, please take time to subscribe to the channel. I try to bring content as often as possible. But in the meantime, I'm going to step out of the Jaye Wellness Studio and leave you in good hands with this video. Like anything else, folks, we're here to simply go back to the basics. Take care, everybody, and I will catch you in the next video.